Welcome back, everyone. 2021 course walkthrough videos. Today's course will be Monte Zaballos. It is the 5th course in the cycle, probably the 2nd hardest course. It would probably go 4 snow being the hardest. It is a lot easier than the course looks. The elevation changes are very dramatic, lots of rocks, lots of things to bounce down and follow through on. Once you figure out where to position things off the tee, it becomes to a couple holes to make shots on that can really be risky. Otherwise, the course isn't really too bad. Follow along with the video. You'll see a lot of different places you can play the ball, the places that I like to play it. Make it as easy as possible on you. And without any further ado, we will move right on to it. Thanks for watching. Like, follow, subscribe, and let's get started. All right, everyone, welcome back. Word of mouth, 2021 walkthrough videos. The last course of the 5 released, Monte Zaballos. Definitely the most interesting, probably the most fun course. It's not as hard as you might seem. It's just a lot of balls that go change a lot of elevation. So my first tip throughout this whole course is, since we have no way of knowing exactly how high a ball is above what we're playing to, that's not a number that's given to us, right? Try to play the ball to the most level possible spot that you can. If you keep that in the back of your mind when you're hitting all your tee shots, you're gonna find a lot of easy things happen. Hole 1, another pretty basic, straightforward shot. Knock it up there. I didn't need to use a high tee. It's a home edition. Who cares? But generally, you're gonna end up in a very similar spot every time. Now I'm gonna try to hole it out. And I think I might have. We'll see if that thing rips back enough. Hey, we did. So we got hole 1, that's good. Hole it out 1, very nice, very choice. Pound town. Hole 2, setup dependent. This is gonna be close to being able to drive it. Now, you're gonna ask yourself, how in the world is he doing that? All right, so if we look at this, there's a berm at the top of the fairway at the end. If you can get to that berm on top of it with roll and a high tee, it'll bounce a couple times and then hit the rock and kick right down over the hole. We'll see if we can. This one might be a little bit out of my range, but we'll see. We got it good. We got it out. Let's see if it's kicking forward enough. Is it kicking? No, it stopped up there. Now, this is deep grass. Otherwise, I would tell you to putt it if this was rough. It's deep grass. Can't putt it. We're just going to hit this stiff. So I'd probably say that that one might have been there. With Stouts, it's probably going to be a little bit less, but it's there probably half the time. We got a straightforward par 3, but straightforward par 3s on this course aren't always straightforward. Look at how dramatically downhill this is. I have a 4-iron. It's going to, shit. I meant to move the tee to the left. Crap. That's okay. We can still play it. The thing you're going to notice about these dramatic downhill shots, the ball flight, the trajectory has slowed down. So when it's getting to the end of its arc, it's almost coming straight down. So shots with bite will actually act like it has more spin on it than what you're used to. And so you have to realize that bite on a dramatically downhill shot actually acts like backspin. So something like that, where if that landed on a normal level shot, I figured that was going in. But it landed and it backspun quite a bit with the bite. On this hole, you got an option. You can put it straight ahead. You leave yourself a pretty long shot. What everyone's been doing, including myself, high tee 10.5, come over here, and then knock it stiff. You'll get down, it'll bounce off of everything. You leave yourself a short iron in, and only a little bit of downhill. Again, changing those elevations are gonna be huge on this. Now, can we thumb this there? I think we can. We're gonna thumb this with bite. It should land right about the pin. Pretty close, pretty close. We'll start getting some views on this that are gonna be a little different. Okay, this one is downhill too. If you look over this mountain, the green is down another 10 feet below the fairway. So it's gonna carry on you a little bit. So let's play with and the other part is when we look around the green, there is no trouble. So if you get on the green and it backspins off, you're fine. It's not a big deal. We don't have to hit this hard. We're just gonna hit it solid. Speed-wise was good. Line wasn't great. This one's gonna mind screw you a little bit here. You're gonna see a lot of elevation changes that are gonna get you. This hole will set up drivable occasionally, and when it's drivable, it's drivable. You'll know it. It's 320, 330, and we're downhill to the green from here. The second shot, though, is gonna be uphill. So we'll just put it down on the fairway somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's fairway, if it's in the rough, it's fine. Not a big deal either way on this. Now, we have a little bit of uphill. So is that 5-iron gonna get there? I would think it's gonna be a little short unless I hit it with release or roll. Probably roll. I don't like it. I'm gonna go up to the 4 and I'm gonna backspin this and thumb it hard. Oh, right on it, we're good. Another dramatic downhill. All I want is the fairway on the left, and that doesn't look like that's impossible there, right? It's so far downhill, just high tee it, murder it straight. You're over that water pretty much without a problem. Now, the next shot, it's downhill as well. So I have to play the cut a little bit harder. It's a 6-wood I'm hitting. And remember, it's downhill. The 6-wood doesn't carry as far as you think it would, but we'll cut it, hit it solid. We're gonna hit the middle top of the green and hopefully it comes back. You see how hard the backspin works on that? So just remember, you're gonna get a lot more sauce on your backspins and your bites. On your rolls and releases, you're not gonna get as much because it's not moving forward when it lands. Hopefully that makes sense. It's another slightly uphill. It's more uphill than you think, but I'm gonna hit this 9-wood. You guys are gonna see how far this 9-wood's gonna go. I think you guys would remember from last year's that 9-wood would have been way short, but a 119 9-wood just landed 200 yards into an 11 on an uphill. So it's got some more pop to it now. You start getting into the tricky holes here. Let's talk this through. Okay, when you're far back on this box, let me get the telestrator up so I can show you guys. When we're far back on this box, we've got this spot right here where pretty much all of my woods will get that high. Remember, you got to try to figure out where your arc is going to be its max. But in general, a good rule of thumb is the top of the screen will be your 3-wood, your 4-wood, and your 5-wood. If I can see a gap between the top of the screen and the obstacle in front of me, and it's about halfway between my target, then I'm pretty sure that's getting over it. So on this setup, I think I can hit a high tee 3-wood and have no problem. I think it's over that rock. When you're closer, you have to have a higher trajectory club to get it over, a higher lofted club to get over the obstacle. This one's a little different, and on those, a lot of times, you'll see a lot of people hitting C3s around this. We'll see if the 3-wood works here, though. Let's see. And I laid off of it. So that was not, I don't know, if I would have hit that solid, that might have still gotten there, but it didn't there. So we got to start looking at maybe another way of playing that. Not happy that I missed that, though. I should have just murdered that one. I was being cute. Being cute isn't very good on this course. So we got a hole out. We didn't get hole 2, and we missed one other stroke. 2 was quasi there. So we'll say I'm 1 off of par right now. All right, this hole is uphill, and it's more than you think it is. I'm gonna back up the 6-wood on the box, and I'm just gonna thumb it with backswing. And these uphills with the down green, though, it makes it hard for the ball to check back. You pretty much need to land it pin high and have it check sideways. A little different. Now, here's where the holes start getting interesting. We'll do a flyby. I'm sure you've all heard about this one, but you can't really see it. It is so far downhill that you don't get to see it while it's going down, right? Now, if we look, there is a pad right here. That pad is a great spot to lay up to. It has a slope to the left on it, and if you stick the middle of it, it will bounce off to the left. It's tough to stick the pad. There's another shot on a certain tee box where you can go at this and hit an A1, and it will hit the top of this, and it will trickle down and forward down this rock towards the green. It's kind of crazy. Stouts, it's a little harder for. The Stouts, I play a little differently. If that shot's like that, I hit a C3 at it. And the risk to reward on it, it's not gonna really ever be bad, because I'm gonna show you how I typically like to play this. Now, I'm gonna go back to my theory that on this course, I wanna try to make it level as possible. So I'm just gonna bang this down to the fairway. Keeping it to the left on this is better than keeping it to the right. You get a lot more window to play with. But if you see this, I'm gonna line it up. I'm gonna pull it back almost dead straight with a hair to the left and then throw it all the way out. Watch this thing rip now. That was with bite on an up 7. I mean, so it was a down 7 green where it landed, and it still snapped up that far and got me some points. It works. You got good options here. We can go over the top with a high 6-wood, right? If I'm trying to make this and I go over the top with a high 6-wood, I really have to bring water on the right and play. So that's not gonna be my shot here. I'm just gonna go around the outside. I'm gonna play the 5, but I'm gonna hit with bite. Not gonna have an overcut on it, because obviously I don't wanna bring the water in play. So I'll just have a little cut, and we're gonna let the green do the work on this. And I probably could have gone with the forward. I hit that pretty solid and I didn't get it to the hole. It's still my eagle. Not my best performance now. Simple par 3. Another hole in one, awesome. Okay, best play on this. It's gonna be up top here and in that little gully up there. So I wanna put the ball in here, right? Farther right, pretty much short of my pointer. So right about there. It'll give me a straight line shot in. It's gonna have a big elevation change though. Generally, I wanna hit the 10.5 here and hit it smooth. You'll see it'll line up perfect. Great, right where I wanna be. Now, we're downhill dramatically. So the ball's gonna backspin or bite more and release or roll less. Let's go with the 4 with bite and see if we can't just plop this down just past the pin. And we did, we just didn't get it high enough up the hill. Speed-wise, that's good. Now, guys, I've played a lot of tee. I know I can kind of judge these height changes. It's gonna take you a while doing it on these courses if you haven't played as much tee. All right, got a couple options on this, but it's always gonna be a bend around this, right? You can go from here and half cut it, half BC, and then throw it out. I kind of recommend getting used to hitting more of a shot like this on it though, where you're going out here, you're pulling full C and then smoothing it up. I like the high tee there too, because then it stops my backspin from kicking it straight into the hill. You're gonna leave yourself a putt most of the time there, a little bit longer. Try not to go off the back, the right edge. The left edge is fine. The right edge will trickle down and go wet. Another dramatically downhill shot. So like I said, the bite's gonna be dramatic here. It's a left 8 green. Let's let the wind push me back right. I'm not sure if the rough is okay there. Yes. So I could even hit the rough there and have this kick back, but let's just thumb it. I want to get it a little left, have it hit the green slightly past the pin, and hopefully this trickles back down and goes in. Ah, did I catch it? Ah, no, a little too hard. Probably my worst hole on this course. You got to be very fun. It's very finesse-like here. because you have to hit it hard enough to get it past this first wall. But if you hit the back wall on a fly, you're wet. So I like to go to the farthest left on this box. And when I say you got to get it past this wall, I'm saying you got to get it past that wall there. What I like to do here when the pin's at the top is definitely go high tee with the club. That's so I'm not checking it down the hill and I don't have to fight that break as much because you get less spin with the high tee. So I'm gonna go high tee, bite. We'll cut it some and then hit it pretty good. And gosh, I mean, that's what exactly I want to do on that. And now the fun one, 18. Woo. It's rougher than it's pretty rough even with Stouts, but if we look, let's look at how far downhill this is. Yeah, it's a ways. You're just gonna have to get used to how much that wind is gonna move it. On this one, I want to move it left as far as I can. Let's go for the hole. I'm gonna backspin this. I'm gonna have a pretty decent cut and I'm gonna hit it right off the front swing. So I kill my distance a little bit. If I hit this full, a straight line shot, there's no way I'm keeping the 10 on it, the 8.5 at the right speed. It's gonna fly it. So, but if I cut it and I swoop it in, it's got a longer path to follow to it. And we should be able to knock it down enough. Here we go. I can't argue with that. Can't argue with the result on that. So that's Monte, guys. It's a fun freaking course. Honestly, probably one of the better designs that they've ever made. I got to give them credit on this. Not the hardest course. You may think that after playing it the first time, but once you start getting the heights in your head right, you're going to figure the course out and it'll get a lot more scoreable for you because it is the highest Golden Tee par. But we'll see it. We're going to see some big numbers. CJ already put up a 34 on it, so that's cool. It's a fun one. Get out there, play it a lot. Hope to see you guys on the leaderboard soon, and Mouth is out.